Within the mighty ranks of the Adeptus Astartes are dozens of tried and tested veterans that have fought in countless wars throughout the long history of the Imperium of Man. The Emperor's Angels of Death can do this because they are blessed with an incredibly long lifespan that many humans struggle to obtain. Practically immortal by the standards of the majority of the Imperium, the Space Marine can live over 1,000 years. On the battlefield, these veterans drive their chapters forward, crushing the enemies of the Emperor with an efficiency forged through hundreds of years of service. Even for the elite standards of the Adeptus Astartes, these warriors showcase a determination, fortitude, and skill in battle that bolsters every Space Marine around them. They are the embodiment of death, reaping the enemy's souls without a second thought. Many of these long-lived warriors have fought as part of a company command squad. Some go on to fulfill very unique roles within their chapter. No veteran battle brother manages to survive this long without having hundreds of battle honors and dozens of awe-inspiring stories. From slaying orc warlords to butchering through thousands of demons, these warriors are a walking embodiment of their chapter's glory. The veteran Space Marines on this list are not only some of the oldest living Astarte warriors, but they've also played a pivotal role in their chapter's history. Let's start by looking at one of the Blood Angel's oldest battle brothers, Veteran Sergeant Cloyton. This senior sergeant is rumored to be older than Dante himself, being the sergeant in command of Dante's scout squad when the Lord Commander was just a neophyte. Eventually, Cloyton was elevated to the rank of Guardian of the Shroud of Sanguinius, one of the chapter's most honored positions. He stands vigil over the Blood Angel's most revered and holy relic, the remains of the ancient battle standard that the Emperor used to cover his dead son Sanguinius, right before battling the traitorous Warmaster Horus during the final hours of the Battle of Terra. Cloyton guards over the ornately decorated iron box that holds the tattered remains of this holy standard. Locked in a stasis field, this relic holds a powerful psychic aura that causes any son of Sanguinius to experience mild effects of the Black Rage when in close proximity to the blood-soaked shroud. When exposed to this relic, battle brothers become fiercer than ever and seek only the death of their enemies in an orgy of savage and bloody destruction. It is believed that Cloyton's wisdom and bravery is what allows him to overcome the effects of the shroud. Without a doubt, this holy relic must also be responsible for the veteran sergeant's incredible lifespan. It is almost unheard of for a battle brother to last this long without being entombed within the dreadnought sarcophagus. And then we have the Grey Knight Epimetheus. This veteran's true story is shrouded in mystery. All that is known is that Epimetheus was originally a Terran-born Dark Angel, known as the Nemean. Serving under the command of Luther during the Great Crusade, he eventually went on to gather a band of Black Shields known as the Dark Brotherhood that battled the traitor forces of the Alpha Legion during the Horus Heresy. During the conflict, he received a recruitment call from Nathaniel Garro, asking him to join the Grey Knights. It is rumored that upon reaching Titan, Malcador the hero removed his progenial gland and replaced it with the gene seed of the Emperor himself. Epimetheus would go on to fight in the Battle of Terra alongside the Emperor, and rumors spread of his death, when in reality, Epimetheus would lead a full brotherhood of Grey Knights in what was known as the Great Scouring. For him and his brotherhood, the hunt for the traitors would last a century due to the warping effects of time in the Immaterium, but for the rest of the Loyalist legions, the entire scouring would last only 7 years. Epimetheus would eventually volunteer to stay behind on the planet of Pythos to watch over the Damnation Cache, and he would remain there for 10,000 years in suspended animation until he was awakened by the invasion of Abaddon the Despoiler. Epimetheus would battle the forces of chaos alongside the Inquisition, but was eventually taken prisoner by Abaddon, who wished to experiment on his unique gene seed. The true whereabouts of this veteran remains unknown to this day. Now we move on to Watch Commander of the Imperial Fist Mobile Fortress Monastery, the Phalanx, and the first captain of the Imperial Fist Chapter's first company, Darneth Lysander. This historic Space Marine was a natural-born survivor before he even became a Space Marine, having survived an orc invasion, a heretical uprising, and the perilous pilgrimage to Holy Terra. When he was finally chosen to join the ranks of the Imperial Fists, Lysander carved a successful and brutal career, becoming a sergeant, and most famously vanquishing the heretics of the planet of Iduno. As captain of the second company, he led the storming of the Eldar cruiser Blood of Cain, and eventually earned the prestigious rank of captain of the Imperial Fist First Company. Like most Sons of Dorn, Lysander had a unique hatred for the Iron Warriors, and this boiling rage would lead directly in the hands of his rivals after him and his battle brothers disappeared into the void for roughly 1,000 years. Captured by the Iron Warriors, Lysander had to battle his way free from the clutches of the traitors, and managed to return to the Phalanx, where the majority of his battle brothers were all gone, and the new Imperial Fist prove him for Chaos corruption. Found clean, Lysander didn't regain the position of captain of the first company until the death of the chapter master, Vladimir Pugh, after refusing the promotion of chapter master for himself. Another one of the Space Marines' most honored veterans is Captain Pelis Mirsan, the oldest member of the Salamander's chapter. This ancient warrior has earned many titles, including the Winter Blade and the Defender of Nocturne. He served as the commander of the Second Company for more than 150 standard years, and before that, he served as a chapter champion for 30 years, remaining undefeated for his tenure. A skilled swordsman, Mirsan is a former winner of the legendary Trial of Blades. He applies his chapter's well-known discipline and pursuit of excellence to the duelist arts, as well as the creation of some of the finest power swords in the Salamander's history. He has lost nothing of his phenomenal skills at arms, despite his skin graying to the color of cold forge ash, and the light in his eyes dulling to a deep crimson. He has tempered the blade of his wisdom to a fine edge through his experiences with countless enemies and innumerable conflicts. Captain Mirsan is most famous for commanding the Salamander's chapter contingent throughout their involvement during the Badab War against the infamous tyrant of Badab, Luft Huron. Initially, the Salamanders were reluctant to get involved in the conflict, having fought alongside both the Astroclaws and the Firehawks as recent as the Lycanthos Drift campaign, and the chapter was greatly troubled to intervene on either side, despite direct calls to do so. When proof was provided to them that the Astroclaws had broken faith and were now in the service of chaos, the Salamanders were forced to act. The chapter could only send a small force consisting of the Second Company. Although few in number, the Salamander force was heavily engaged throughout the conflict until the bitter end, playing key roles in several important events that defined the course of the war. Mirsan would go on to be part of a Salamander strike force that went to aid the besieged Imperial base of Thrastos from an Orc attack from war boss Borzog. When the strike force neared the base, a hidden Orc fleet emerged nearby and attacked the Salamanders. The outnumbered strike force was then forced to fight their way clear of the ambush, but dozens of battle brothers were slain by the Orcs. Mirsan was amongst the Salamanders who survived, and he vowed to take revenge against Borzog. To this day, he hasn't, because Orcs are the best. Mirsan would have more success when he commanded a demi-company of Salamanders to aid in the defense of the Cardinal World of Benediction in the Veritas subsector. As the word-bearer forces closed in on the Grand Cathedral City, the faith of the Adeptus Ministorum priests and the other faithful of the God Emperor within unleashed a phenomenon of the psychic awakening. Skull-faced spirits of the blessed Imperial dead emerged from the warp to wrap the cathedral city in a wall of power, later called the Saints' Wall. They banished the demons aiding the word-bearers back into the Immaterium. The Salamanders took advantage of this to launch a fresh assault on the advanced formation of the word-bearers, breaking through to the bridge over the River Carmen and cutting the heretic forces in two. And finally, we get to one of the most popular Space Marines when we talk about veterans, Commander Dante of the Blood Angels. Over 1,500 years old, this commander has managed to survive the Black Rage and the Red Thirst, although rumors are that he succumbed on various occasions to these genetic flaws, but managed to come back. He is now the regent of the Imperial Nihilus, an entire section of Imperial space cut off from Terra by the Great Rift. Not to mention he successfully stood his ground during High Fleet Leviathan's assault on the Blood Angels' homeworld of Bao. Dante deserves a video all on his own. We'll get to it in the near future. I just wanted to end with the most popular Space Marine when we talk about old Space Marines, Dante. Same thing with Lysander. Lysander is going to get a video all on his own in the future. I know we have another 40 Facts video, actually on both of them, Dante and Lysander. They're just older, so they're not as good. We'll create better videos in the near future. Now, if you guys think that I forgot a Space Marine that is up there in age, let me know in the comment section below. I did not include Dreadnoughts because Dreadnoughts are a video all on their own as well. Bjorn the Fell Hand, his story is coming pretty soon, even though we already have a 40 Facts and older video on Bjorn the Fell Hand, but we will redo it with better quality in the near future. So I guess my question to you guys is, number one, did I forget anybody that's still a Space Marine and is still fighting out there? And also, what Dreadnoughts would you guys like to hear about? Because I am building that video. Hopefully it'll go out next weekend. I'll try my best. If you guys have suggestions for any other topics, please let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out our 40 Facts on the lifespans of each faction in the Imperium. It's a video that I posted, I think, 3 weeks ago, and it's really interesting to see what the actual lifespan of these races are compared to how long they actually live, because Space Marines can live longer than 1,000. They can live longer than Dante, but it's just that they die because of their circumstance, kind of like the orcs. Orcs are kind of immortal, but then at the same time, orcs are meant to fight and die. So yeah, but check out that video if you guys want to learn more about that. Thanks for listening, guys. Thank our patrons on Patreon. It is because of them that we can do this. Link in the description if you guys want to support us. It's just $1 a month. But if you can't, just by liking, commenting, and sharing, it helps out the channel. So thank you, guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. This was Gershwan with One Mind Syndicate signing out.
Oh, what if you took my freedom?